rattlesnake. Dr. J.B. Cowan, the chief surgeon on Forrest's staff, looked up from his cup of sassafras tea. "No," he said, "I'd sooner not." The concise medical opinion made Forrest and the rest of his staff officers laugh. But mirth did not stay on the commanding general's face for long. Most of the white Union troops in Fort Pillow were Tennesseans themselves, enemy soldiers from a state that belonged in the Confederacy. When they came out of their works, they plundered the people who should have been their countrymen. If half of what Forrest heard was true, they did worse than that to the women folk. And so, "We'll move then," Forrest said. "Captain Anderson." "Yes, sir." "Colonel McCulloch's brigade is up at Sharon's Ferry along the Forked Deer, right?" Forrest said. Anderson nodded. Forrest went on. "And General Bell's got his brigade up at Eaton in Gibson County?" He waited. Charles Anderson nodded again. "Yes, sir. That's where he was last we heard from him." Forrest waved dismissively. "Yankees haven't got enough men up there to shift him, so that's where he's at, all right. How many soldiers you reckon McCulloch and Bell put together have?" Anderson's eyes took on a faraway look. Under his mustache, his lips moved silently. He wore a neat beard, much like Bedford Forrest's. "I'd say about 1,500, sir." "About what I ciphered out for myself. Wanted to make sure you were with me." Forrest's gaze sharpened. "Now, Captain, how many Yankees do you suppose Fort Pillow holds?" "You can't have half that many." This time Anderson didn't hesitate, though he did add, "They've got a gunboat out in the river to support the place." "That's bluff country," Forrest said. "Gunboat won't be able to see up high enough to do 'em much good. Send orders to McCulloch and Bell, Captain. Get 'em moving tomorrow. I want them to hit Fort Pillow first thing Tuesday morning. We will take it away from the United States, and we will free this part of Tennessee from Yankee oppression." "Yes, sir," Anderson said once more. "General Bell in overall command?" "No, General Chalmers." Forrest made a sour face. He had tried to have James Chalmers posted somewhere other than under his command, but he had been overruled both here in the West and by the War Department in Richmond. Chalmers was a good, better than a good, cavalry officer, but not respectful enough of those set above him. In that way, and in some others, he was more than a little like Forrest himself, though he had the education his superior lacked. "I'll draft the orders, sir, and I'll send them out as soon as you approve them," Captain Anderson said. "Good. That's good. Tell General Bell especially not to sit around there lollygagging. He's got a long way to travel if he's going to get there by morning after next. He'd better set out just as fast as he can." Anderson's pen scratched across a sheet of paper. "I'll make it very plain," Forrest aide-de-camp promised. Forrest nodded. Anderson was a good writer, a confident writer. He made things sound the way they were supposed to. As for Forrest himself, he would sooner pick up a snake than a pen. Fort Pillow was not a prime post. When it rained, as it was raining this Monday morning, Lieutenant Mac Leaming's barracks leaked. Pots and bowls on the floor caught the drips. The plink and splat of water falling into them was often better at getting men of the 13th Tennessee Cavalry U.S. out of bed than reveille would have been. One of the troopers in the regiment swore as he sat up. "Listen to that for a while, and you reckon you've got to piss, even if you just went and did," he grumbled. "Piss on the Rebs," said the fellow in the next cot. "Pipe down, both of you," Leaming hissed. He was about 25, with a round face, surprisingly innocent blue eyes, and a scraggly corn-yellow mustache that curled down around the corners of his mouth. "Some of the boys are still sleeping." Snores proved him right. Quite a few of the boys were older than he was. The bugler's horn sounded a few minutes later. Some of the men slept in their uniforms. The ones who'd stripped to their long johns climbed into Federal blue once more. Some of them had worn gray earlier in the war. Most of those troopers were all the more eager to punish backers of the Confederacy. A few, perhaps, might put on gray again if they saw the chance. Leaming chuckled softly as he pulled on his trousers. That wouldn't be so easy. The United States wanted men who'd fought for the other side to return to the fold. The Confederates were less forgiving. In places like western Tennessee...